Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As you already know, I always keep my signature lingering somewhere in the background. My Dunkin' Donuts coffee. You already know. Okay? In today's video segment, what we're going to take a look at is quite a few items amongst three different brands, such as the Snap-on brand, the Stillman Pro brand, with the extra added addition of the Sunex brand. This will be a little slight comparison video amongst the three. All right, what we're going to take a look at is some swivel impact extensions. Okay, what you're basically taking a look at here is a 12 millimeter by Snap-on. Because of the lighting, the measurements may not be focusing in quite clear, but you can still basically get the idea. All right, so you can take notice to the shaft here and how thin it is and how you would have your swivel impact socket towards the top. All right, this is ball retention and it is spring loaded. If you can take notice towards the spring towards the inside. So just to sit this here for just a moment. Now what you're taking a look at is a 12 millimeter by Stillman Pro. Okay. This do come from 11-piece set, which is a metric set. Each individual swivel impact comes with a SKU number, just in case you ever happen to damage anything, and you need to basically warranty a particular extension. So if you take notice towards the Stillman Pros set, they are laser etched. Unfortunately, like the Snap-ons are designed a little bit differently, like their normal standard sockets. All right, where everything is sketched directly into the item itself. The Stillman Pros are laser etched at its top here for measurements, for clear visual, just as well as it's also imprinted with a SKU number here, if it will focus in correctly. But throughout time and use, that will wear on both ends. All right. When it comes to the Stillman Pro swivel impacts, if you take notice, all right, the impact sits more on like a swivel ball impact socket, or how may I say, like your Snap-on wobble extensions. All right, because your wobble extensions would basically look the same. The Stillman Pro set are spring loaded just as well. If I can get it to focus in with the Snap-on, see if I can adjust the light here for you real quick, make it a little bit more brighter. So if you take notice towards the inside of the Snap-on here, you can see the spring within the inside. Just as well as there's also a spring towards the inside of the Steelman, but the spring, how may I say, is less aggressive than how the Snap-on is designed. When it comes to the shaft and the body frame of the Stillman Pro swivel impacts, they are thicker than the Snap-on, if you take notice. Okay. Another thing about the Stillman Pro set is that in length wise, the Snap-ons do come in slightly longer. Okay. So basically, this is the distance that you would basically get on the Snap-ons. There is a difference between the heads. If I can get this to focus in. Okay. At the top, you can see that the top swivel impact is shorter on a Snap-on than it is the Stillman Pro. All right, so sometimes this can become important depending upon clearance issues. Want to give you another little quick example of something. These are both 12 millimeters. This is a 12 millimeter Sunex 3/8 drive swivel impact. All right. So I know that this is not a 3/8 drive impact extension. I just simply pulled out a chrome extension, just to get this slight little comparison real quick so that you can get a good idea just to see with a 12 millimeter, okay, and what type of clearance you can basically get with the swivel impact extensions. All right. If unfortunately you may not necessarily have a set like this, and say for instance you're only working with swivel impacts, okay, so you can see, depending upon what you may be working on at a particular time and what type of clearance that you may be able to get. When it comes to the Sunex set, as you can take notice, the collet here may make it an issue when trying to get in a certain particular area. All right, you can see the thickness of the socket just as well as the length on the socket. So the snap-ons are coming in a little bit more shorter from here to here. But once again, the snap-ons are longer than the Stillman Pros, even though the Stillman Pros shaft is a whole lot much more thicker. I can't necessarily determine what would take more of a tolerance. All right, I believe that the Stillman Pro set is made out of chrome vanadium, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. The snap-on set is made in the USA. These two sets are impact graded. All right. For those individuals out there who may not necessarily be mechanically inclined, in this demonstration, you can see that I'm using a swivel impact socket. This is not recommended, okay, to use chrome extensions on impact swivel sockets or impact sockets. I'm only using this chrome extension for a demonstration instead of me going out my way to pull out a 3/8 drive extension at this prior moment. But anytime that you're using an impact wrench or a cordless gun, okay, I suggest that you use impact extensions, which are like a black industrial finish, and they're graded for impact use. Okay, chrome extensions is not graded for impact use. This is made of basically a different metal, different material. All right, the chrome is not designed to withstand the impacts, okay, of a pneumatic gun or a cordless impact. Some individuals get away with it, but in the same token, you could be putting yourself at harm and in danger anytime, when using a cordless impact, or especially a pneumatic impact gun. It's always best to wear eye protection just as well as air protection, especially if you're using something like an air hammer, pneumatic air hammer. All right. So this is a 12 millimeter Sunex swivel impact. These are made out of chrome moly, as you can see, the CR-MO. This set is made in Taiwan. The Sunex sets also come with a SKU number and item identification number underneath the drive size and the millimeter size here, just in case you happen to damage a socket. If you take notice to the swivel impacts, okay, these are baldy tinted in a somewhat sense like the snap-ons, if you take notice here. Okay, so there is a difference between some of these items here. All right, so you can take notice to how the socket sits on the extension. Like I stated, when you take a look at a set like this, all right, it makes it seem, no different than you using a set of snap-on Wobble Plus extensions all right, with, say, for instance, a semi-deep or a shallow swivel impact, which they do come in semi-deeps, shallows, and deeps, all right? So, just to give you a nice clear visual, nice clear look. I'm not quite sure if the camera is focusing in very well, but when you see the angles on the extensions, you will get the idea, okay? Because when you take a look at the snap-on, it doesn't look like that, as you can take notice here, okay? It's more of a pin, all right? That locks it in just as well. If you can see the spring that is sitting within inside the socket there. I'm not quite sure whether you can see the spring, if you can see the spring within inside the Stillman Pro. So these are 12 millimeters here, okay? So you can basically see the difference. Like, this makes a major difference depending upon what you are working on, all right? So the Stillmans are coming in a little bit more bulkier. Sometimes you may not need the length, okay, that may necessarily be provided by Snap-on. Sometimes you may possibly need a shorter length, okay. This is a least inexpensive set, okay, which do come in 11-piece set. I forget exactly how many extensions come in this set. I actually have the full set. I just didn't count how many extensions come in this particular set. But this set is a full set with no skips, all right? I think it runs, if I'm not mistaken, I think it runs from like 10 millimeter to 19 millimeter or 7 millimeter to 19 millimeter, if I'm not mistaken. Once again, this set is a more least inexpensive set that comes with no skips in it. So you get more units in this particular set than you would get in a Snap-on set. The Snap-on set is a whole lot much more expensive. I believe for the price of just the metric set of the Snap-ons, you can basically pick up the set of the metric and ASAE sets of Stillman Pros, all right? So in your Snap-on set, okay, you can see it provides 6 different extensions compared to Stillman Pro set, which provides 11 units within its set, right? And your Stillman Pro set provides actually from 9 millimeter to 19 millimeter. You have 9 millimeter, 10 millimeter, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and then you have 19. This is a metric set, 11-piece set, all right? Once again, each extension has its own SKU number and identification number just in case for warranty issues and, say, for instance, you damage or shear off extension. Once again, always be careful when using pneumatic impact guns and impact equipment. Always wear safety protection over your eyes and things like that, because you only get one set of eyes in this lifetime, right? And for those individuals who may necessarily need a part number for, the Sunex set, which is a 10-piece 3/8 drive swivel impact socket set, which is a metric set. Once again, they are made out of chrome moly steel for long life, fully guaranteed, heavy-duty blow molded case. The set runs from 10 millimeter to 19 millimeter. All right, so you get 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. And the part number is 3657. All right, we're going to end this video right about now. It's the weekend. I want everybody to enjoy themselves out there. Keep it a safe and a blessed one as always. And until that next tool review, that next modification video, that next stacking video, that next toolbox tour, we're going to check you later. Peace.